Welcome to the latest edition of Sidetracked Expedition News. Up next, a record-breaking adventurer makes a return visit to the world's second highest mountain. A young Brit braves snakes and sandstorms to become the first person ever to cross Mongolia on foot. And two girls and one Land Rover have made a circumnavigation along the shores of the Mediterranean Sea, discovering that the countries they found there were slightly different from what they'd been expecting. But first, an Emirates-based adventurer has put his life on the line for a second time, attempting to climb one of the world's most dangerous mountains. British-born Adrian Hayes successfully climbed K2 earlier this summer, some 6 decades after it was originally climbed in 1954. Adrian's first attempt a year previously had ended in tragedy when an avalanche ripped through Camp 3, killing 2 of the 55-year-old's co-climbers.
It is the conditions above all. This year was a lucky year. So many got up because the weather was kind to us. You know, last year it wasn't and nobody got up.
Here we are on the summit of K2. We made it after a 15-hour climb and it is exhausting. Thank you everyone. Thanks very much.
In other news, a young Welshman has become the first person ever to cross Mongolia, some 1,500 miles, completely alone. Dykes spent 78 days crossing the high Altai, the scorching Gobi Desert, and the seemingly endless Mongolian steppe, all to become the first person ever to cross from the country's westernmost town of Ulgi to its easterly border and the city of Choy-Balshan. To make the crossing, the 23-year-old battled heat exhaustion, sunstroke, sandstorms, poisonous snakes, and of course the loneliness of crossing the most sparsely populated country in the world entirely at a walking pace.
Sometimes the loneliness would get to me. If I'd arrive in a settlement and the locals there were really friendly, really hospitable, and they would always welcome me with open arms. So leaving them the next day was always quite upsetting in a way. You know, I'd leave there knowing I'm back into the extreme elements, and it might be weeks again before I get let into some sort of gear again.
And lastly, with everything you hear in the news nowadays, travelling through the turbulent lands of North Africa and the Middle East may seem like quite a risky venture indeed. But for 2 girls and 1 Land Rover, they found the media myth landed far from the reality they found on the ground. Lucy Engelhardt and Anne-Laurie Carruth spent 174 days on the road in their 1971 Series 2A Land Rover, crossing through 22 countries and thousands of kilometres on a circumnavigation of the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. The pair hope to use their travels as a way of discovering the human face to the region, which has been undergoing mass political and social change ever since the Arab Spring began in December 2010.
All that anyone was telling us was how dangerous it was and how stupid we were to go. This guy came rushing over to us, and we were sort of opened the window a little bit going, what's he going to do? He just chucked 7 packets of crisps into the window at us, and he was like, welcome to Algeria. Again, wanted to give us something because he saw that we were strangers in his country.
The team's next challenge is to bring their experiences to life in an artistic exhibition with their trusted Landy at the centre stage. We at Sidetrack will eagerly await the show and we'll let you know more details as soon as they're announced. But that's it for now. If you'd like to hear more stories and news from the world of adventure, please visit sidetrack.com. Jamie Buncher, Sidetrack Expedition News.